Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, Equestria at War, there's land update. We're gonna be playing alone. But we're starting a new game, and we're gonna play as the Griffonian Empire itself. We've played as a lot of the strong nations, the River Republic, which can kind of form the River Coalition. We've played as most of the big countries over here, Changelings, Equestria, Staliongrad. But the Griffonian Empire is a pretty major player. They always seem to get in a bit of trouble late game. The AI doesn't seem to know what's too much. I don't think I've seen a successful Griffonian Empire in a while since my House Eerie playthrough, but hopefully that isn't true this time around, one could hope. So we'll be playing as the Griffonian Empire. Iron Man mode, of course, historical focuses. I guess. Actually, historical focuses are kind of a little lame, so let's Griffonian Empire. No historical focuses. I feel like that could be fun. Maybe make it a little more tricky. I like it how we have basic fire control system researched randomly. Has that always been a thing in this mod? I don't know. It's kind of weird, though. Ooh, a train trip. Trains. I love a good story on a train. Despite his deteriorating health, the Emperor has decided to embark on a trip across Tersland via train in order to showcase the new Imperial railway system and, more importantly, to convince the people that his days are not yet over. Reluctantly, after heavily protesting against the trip and arguing that he should stay in bed, the Emperor's doctors let him go. Nobles and commoners alike gathered at Griffonheim's brand new railway station to witness the Emperor's departure. A shining steam locomotive had been prepared with a dozen ornate cars attached to it, all built by the finest metalworkers and carpenters money could hire. Slowly walked to the station, escorted by heavily armored Imperial knights, and was next beset by the commoners who either lauded his project or begged for reforms to give them land and bread instead of expensive trains. Oh no. When he finally got his private railroad car, he asked not to be disturbed, sat down, sighed, and took a nap. The train whistled, signaling that its journey had begun. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, that's pretty good. 10% stability, 100 political power. I like that. It's a little foreshadowing. It kind of gives some French Revolution vibes. Spending expensive railway stuff while the commoners beg for bread. We probably have some national focuses. Bloated bureaucracy, that's actually really bad. Modest illiteracy. Changes in Griffonian attaché, that's okay, and that's okay. So besides the political power thing, we're not doing too bad. And there's no national focuses that we can actually do, so till the Emperor's dead. Spoiler alert. Who are our generals? Ferdinand Danclaw. Holy crap. This guy's a legend. Ferdinand, 4 attack too. And you can have infantry expert that fast. Or maybe not, I need command power actually, but... Grand Hoofball game. Wow, look at this. Sporting events, sounds good. At least there's prosperity in our country. A gift from Skyfall. Today, each year, we have received a single coin paid personally by the Chancellor of Skyfall. The coin, an idol, is sent as a replacement and consolation prize for the lost idol of Boreas. It has been 35 years since the lost idol, and 28 since Guchard came up with that joke. He's apparently not tired of it. Huh. So we don't like Skyfall? Can't really tell. Seems like we don't like Skyfall, though. Coup attempt in Lake City. Happens every time. Not very surprising anymore. When I first started playing, I was like, a coup in Lake City. What? But yeah. I need to play as Lake City. Maybe I can discover more. Back home. Wow. This is like a novel. This is impressive. So the railway trip was amusing. The Emperor and his escort, they traveled around. Soon the Emperor arrived in the free city of Ramu, where King Archon the 12th wished to discuss politics with him in private, but was refused by the tired Emperor. So he's getting a little tired, I see. So on his following day, he barely got out of bed and complained of pain. Doctors promised to check him as soon as he held urgent meetings with aristocrats, and so the Emperor met noble after noble, hearing their petty complaints, pretending to be listening to their pleas while trying not to fall asleep. Okay. Well, and then it looks like he quickly rushed to the private chambers and is currently being taken care of by the Empire's finest medical experts. The Archon spends day and night sleeplessly praying to the gods. Oh, well, there goes all that political power and stability we just got 10 seconds ago. And whoa, civil war in Fir Tree already. Huh. What are we producing, by the way? I like this. I like this. Maybe some planes. Okay, never mind. We don't have fighter ones. I'm not going to waste time. Oh! Never mind about the planes. The Emperor is dead. Not very surprising, because it happens in every game. If you haven't noticed, it happens every time. Anyway, the Emperor is dead, unfortunately, after nearly a month of treatments and therapy, ranging from latest scientific medicine to holy anointments by the priest. His caretaker said his last words were, "Boreas, did I do good?" His unstable and controversial reign has finally come to an end, and all of Herzland is in mourning, with black flags hoisted from Rotterdam to Strasbourg, and from Yale to Bar Sulphur. His funeral processions in Griffenheim was attended by hundreds of thousands of griffins. His closest friend, Gabriella Eagleclaw, was the only vassal who arrived in time to participate and was seen wearing a beautiful yet mourning black gown. Archon Eros VII held a fiery sermon where he declared that an age has come to an end, but claimed down and almost broke into tears. 5 minutes of silence were observed in the city as Grover V was laid to rest in the Temple of Boreas. Some would say that Grover V was a pathetic ruler, others would call him kind. Many citizens secretly despised him, yet a few pitied him instead, so looked like he was kind of a controversial ruler. Now history repeats itself due to his only son and heir, Prince Grover VI, not being of age in which he is considered capable of ruling the country himself. A regency council consisting of nobles, merchant princes, and temple officials shall take over the apparatus of state until a more suitable solution is found. We can only pray it doesn't end like the previous regency. Anyway, the emperor is dead, and now we have a terrible government, which, well, we can't really do anything. But now we can start our focus. The Council of Three, or the Old Guard. I kind of want to go with Archon first. That's what happens in historical focuses, and I kind of want to see what happens there. I'm sure I'll do another run as the Duchess, but let's do the Council of Three. The descendant noble scum can never again be allowed to hold the reins of the Empire, which belong to the Holy Griffins who are guided by the gods themselves, and know well what is best for both the people and the nation. Okay, that doesn't sound questionable at all. The Emperor is dead. Yes, we know. And the Archon takes the stand. I was such a fool when I let the nobles ruin Grover V's reign. In the name of Boreas, I shall not let it happen again with his son while I still live. Archon Eros VII's furious steps echoed in the ornate halls of the Imperial Palace. Even now, the nobility of the Regency Council was once again gathering in the chambers to pointlessly argue for hours, but this time would be different. Yes, Zeros was filled with raw determination. He would not let history repeat itself. As he walked, memories of the past flashed in his mind, images of Griffenheim aflame, a terror in the young Grover V's eyes as he led him to safety via a secret passage in the palace. He closed his eyes and shook his head. "Never again," he muttered. The old Archon slammed the door of the council chambers open with impressive force. The nobles and merchants in the room were silent and turned to gaze at him, having already gained their attention. With his entrance, Eros began to speak. Passion and fury arose in his voice. "Fellow council griffins, I think we have wasted enough time bickering and arguing pointlessly. It is time for a decisive actional indolence. Greed and indecisiveness brought the empire closer to ruin than ever. It is not clear that the concept of a regency council is flawed to its core." Okay, so he's kind of pushing for a better empire that's not so corrupt. I like it. He smiles faintly. It's time for justice has finally come. Well, sounds good. Anyway, we get our stability back again. It's quite a stability roller coaster here. Ah, yes, and we're dealing with that bread problem. We're not going to let the French Revolution happen here in the Griffonian Empire. We're opening up soup kitchens and such. Sounds good. More fascism. Soup kitchens always lead us down that fascist road, I guess. the soup kitchens. Beware, soon soup kitchens will be popping up everywhere, and you'll know what that means. Oh no. Wait, what's going on here? The Barrack Revolt. Ferdinand Daneclaw sat in his office located in one of the innumerable military bases that dotted the capital of the Griffonian Empire. Ferdinand considered himself a patriot, and in a sense that was true. He did love the Empire in his own strange way. It was precisely because of that love that he had to rebel. In his mind, the Empire simply couldn't survive with a radical change in the status quo. Could an already weakened Empire survive with a mere child in charge, with the nobles circling around him like vultures? No, something had to be done. Ferdinand knew that his chances of success were slim, and that he would most likely just go down in history as another nameless traitor to the Empire. A fool whose futile rebellion was quickly crushed. Reports started to trickle in. His forces were converging on the Imperial Palace, and soon they would face the Palace Guard in direct combat. Ferdinand could do nothing but wait, and hope that his soldiers could match the ferocity of the hardened defenders that they now faced. The next few minutes would decide the fate of the entire Empire, and by extension, the course of history itself. For this run, I'm going to crush the revolt, but in the future, this might be a fun little event. I'm definitely not going to probably go down these focuses if I know I'm just going to do this, so I don't waste political power, but in the future, we will see what happens. Something very different. History might be changed forever right there. Okay, so he was defeated pretty much. He's no longer a general. Oh, he was our good general! No, he was! I didn't even recognize him, but he was our amazing general. More stuff happening. Bronze Hill nationalizes Imperial assets. Much of Bronze Hill's industrial infrastructure and mining assets are owned and operated by firms in Griffonian. This is due to the Imperial Court having a vested interest in overseeing the economy of Bronze Hill for the benefit of its citizens. However, recently there has been talk of nationalizing these assets, with the claim of mismanagement and that not enough economic benefit remains in Bronze Hill. If the course of action is followed to reach its conclusion, this would mean a massive loss of monetary assets by some of our leading firms. Currently, the Imperial Court is divided between approaching this diplomatically and issuing a strongly worded protest against our vassal, and taking a more forceful approach, which would see us deliver a militarized reminder of our dominance. We are busy with more pressing matters, let them nationalize, or issue a strongly worded protest. So where is Bronze Hill? They're up here to the north. And they're decently strong. I think we need to protest this action, though. We can't just be letting them go do whatever they wish. They are our subject, after all. Oh yes, and it looks like we're gaining favor with the military, too, which I guess is kind of important for this fascist thing, but yeah, we kind of did join the military campaign. Yes, we shall be great once more. Oh yes, so now we have Archon Eros successfully taken on the role of sole regent, it seems, with Grover the Sixth's approval. So we're now ruling a nation somewhat effectively, and we will be dealing with the bureaucrats first. I think this is the biggest problem. The bureaucracy. They seem to be making questionable stuff happen. This might be the first time I've seen this happen too, but the Kingdom of Broadfield defeated Prywin, which is kind of crazy. They seem to have an amazing focus tree. It's really big. I'm gonna have to play as them too eventually, but yeah, they won over there. Very impressive. Oh, and it looks like some people aren't so happy. Looks like some people aren't so happy. After nearly a month since we managed to secure the Regency Council support for our cause, it seems that as things were finally calming down in Griffonian following the initial power struggle, unfortunately we were proven wrong, as today during the council meeting Duchess Gabriella Eagleclaw, Grand Duke Derek, and other allies of hers simply left the room, followed by numerous notable nobles from all across Hersland. Hours later, the Duchess announced the formal succession of the Strawberry Duchy and the Grand Duchy of Felicia from the Empire. News also arriving in Griffon, Archon declaring independence and their present council outrageously refusing to recognize Archoneros as the rightful regent of the Empire. Meanwhile, Katerin, well, no one can tell what is happening in that cursed land, and the three Archons have other concerns at present. So, many traitors in the in the West. Well, we'll probably have to deal with them, I assume. We do have some loyal countries still. I don't know if I assume they'll remain loyal. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see exactly what happens. Well, we'll deal with them in time, but there's been a lot of there's been a lot of stuff going on. We've learned a lot of talk, not much war just yet, but war will be coming. And hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully you like this, and big shout out to the Equestria War team. This is quite an unparalleled history from this mod. It's one thing to pull up history details from real life, but it's another thing to create history like this, and like Kaiserreich does too. Really amazing. This update has been pretty fun so far. This playing as the Griffonian Empire has seemed more complex than even when I played as Equestria, and they're the namesake for the mod. So amazing so far. Hope you've enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe. Stay in tune to all the future stuff I do, and I would really appreciate that. And see you guys next time.